Welcome back to Autism at Home, brought to you by us at Early Autism Project Malaysia through our non-profit initiative, the Hope Project. My name is Joshebet Isaacs, and welcome back to our 25th series, which is all about toilet training. Now, in our first lesson, we focused on getting ready for toilet training, and this included assessing if your child's ready for toilet training, as well as all the materials you need to get ready. Then in our second lesson, we discussed how to build a child's tolerance to even going into the toilet or bathroom. So do go back and review those lessons if you haven't already. Now, when it comes to the actual toilet training, there's a few ways we can do it. And one way, which is the quickest way, is actually the big day. Well, it's the quickest but also more intensive and less of a gradual approach, which is more what we call habit training, or as Autism Speaks refers to it as schedule training. And so for the purpose of this lesson, we're going to call it a toilet training routine. We are going to start with this gradual approach, which is in line with our 3 key ABA strategies: break skills down. And so by this time, you have already prepared all your materials, you've built your child's tolerance to being in the toilet, and perhaps your child's even sitting on the toilet. The concept of habit training is essentially to bring your child to the toilet regularly and to initially learn that toileting routine. So for example, every hour or even every half an hour initially, and just sit on the toilet for a period of time to follow the routine, but also to hopefully try to get your child to pee in the toilet. Now, the moment your child pees in the toilet, you will give an immediate big reward in order to create that positive association and essentially teach your child that pee-pee goes into the toilet. And so in addition to all the items you already prepared from lesson 1, which I will summarize again shortly, it would be best to have some pull-up diapers initially to avoid some of those pee-pee accidents. Then additionally from lesson 1, as usual, the toilet, you've got your toilet insert and stool. Of course, you've got the teaching materials, which include a toileting social story and video models, if possible. You've got your toilet icon, which is on your door, as well as your visual schedule. You've got a first then visual. First pee goes in the toilet, then reward. You've got a timer, you've got the toilet training schedule, which will have the breakdown of all the steps of toileting, from going in, pulling pants and undies down, sitting down, peeing, wiping or washing, pulling the undies and pants up, and then flushing, and finally washing hands. And lastly, but most importantly, remember those strong rewards. Then don't forget to try to get your child to drink more water during this period of teaching. And one way would be to have those salty snacks. So how would we actually do this is usually during therapy time. We'll first decide if we want to try this every 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or 1 hour. Usually we would do this more frequently at the beginning. And so before we start the practices, we would ensure the following steps are ready. Firstly, the toilet is clean and dry, and the toilet insert is on with the stool, so it's easy for their child to climb up. Then in the toilet, there's also already set up the toilet schedule, the first then board, a timer, you've got your rewards tray, a toilet icon right outside the toilet door for communication. At the therapy table, we would set the toilet icon on our child's therapy schedule and have the toilet social story ready. Pop quiz. What do you do when your child suddenly verbalizes toilet as he's making his way to the bathroom with you? Would you praise him and then point to the toilet icon to prompt him to pick it up? Would you say, try again, consequence, and prompt him to take the toilet icon? Or would you acknowledge the verbalization, praise him, and take him to the toilet? Or return back to the previous activity and re-attempt the routine? Now, in our previous lesson, Unit 24 on functional communication, we emphasized that appropriate verbalization of any words in a functional manner should be acknowledged and reinforced, which is more important and better than the use of the visual. So the answer is C. Do watch Unit 24 on functional communication if you haven't already, or if you think a refresher is needed. Now, I also quickly want to mention that it's really important to choose which word you are going to use and have that consistent. Whether you're going to use toilet, or in America, they like to use the word potty, or whether you're going to say pee-pee or poo-poo. Whatever it is, we have to keep it consistent so it's easy for our child to hear and more likely to verbalize. Now, this is how the practice would look like in 10 steps. As we go through their therapy schedule, when we reach the toilet icon, we would say, it's toilet time, and then read the toilet social story. Then we would bring our child to the toilet, Just outside the toilet, we would prompt our child to give us that toilet visual. Now, this will definitely be more prompted initially than spontaneous, but it's just to try to teach our kiddo to give us the toilet visual before going into the toilet. This is essentially to encourage initiation and functional communication. Then in the toilet, we would go through the visual schedule and prompt our child through the toileting routine, starting with removing their pants and undies, climbing on the stool, sitting on the toilet seat, and then we would set the timer for 30 seconds. While our child is sitting on the toilet, we can read the social story again and also show the first then visual of pee-pee in the toilet, then reward. Now, if your child suddenly pees in the toilet during this time, immediately cheer and reinforce them with the tray of rewards. Remember, this has to be the strongest reward you can think of. Then you can foreshadow the end of that reward after a couple of minutes. Your child may still be sitting on the toilet if it's a screen time, and so you can then follow the toileting schedule, pull up their undies, their pants, flush the toilet, and then of course the hand washing routine. Now, if your child didn't pee and the timer rang, you can still say good try and follow through with the toileting schedule of pulling their undies and pants up, then just their washing hands routine. It's better not to flush the toilet if your child didn't pee inside, as some kids get a little bit fascinated with the running water and it may be a bit confusing as well. Now, you still want to remember to reward your child because you still want to create that positive association and you want to ensure that you're rewarding the toileting routine that they still tried, but maybe not the biggest reward if they were to actually pee in the toilet. Then you go back to your therapy schedule and practice again in the set time, and you kind of repeat this throughout the hour. Now it's your turn. Firstly, prepare all your needed materials. Then begin attempting habit training with your child. Observe and assess your child's performance throughout the routine, and if it's unsuccessful, you can identify areas that will need to be broken down even further. If it is successful, relook at your breakdown and habit training for your child and assess the ways to strengthen and maintain their success. Well, that's about it. Join us in the next lesson as we discuss peeing in the toilet and essentially the big day. Thank you very much for your support, and with the amount of interest we have received online, we have actually started providing online services and currently work with clients in other states of Malaysia, New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, Switzerland, Indonesia, China, and Brunei. Do get in touch with us for more information by scanning this QR code. And if you haven't already, do check out our online resource platform, Autism at Home, which has all the lesson videos, corresponding articles, and downloadables available for you for free. Stay updated through our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Do click on the subscribe and follow buttons to get more information. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.